Hey everyone, Scott Hansen here from NFL Red Zone, and you're watching the Super Fantasy Bros podcast. 1 hour of commercial-free podcasting starts now. Enjoy the show.
All right, welcome back. Super Fantasy Bros podcast, brought to you with the Old City Sports Network. As always, Week 6 now almost all the way finished. Cowboys and Chargers slated to go at it tonight. Hopefully should be a good game. Got to be better than yesterday's Sunday Night Football game. As you can see, no Q today. Unfortunately, he was unable to make it, but he will definitely be back for the episode later this week. But for today's episode, we'll be breaking down all of Week 6, doing some calmer chaos, talking about some guys who struggled in Week 6, and then getting into trust or bust later, talking about some guys who had some pretty solid outings and if you can trust them in your lineup. As always, Kyle Pitts will be talked about, so stay tuned for that.
Oh, boy.
But finally, we'll wrap up with some trade targets. So let's just get right into it. Let's start negative, calm or chaos at the quarterback position. Brock Purdy, 9.7 points, 12 of 27 passing for 125 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Got exposed a little bit. Can we still trust?
I'm still trusting.
I'm trusting. The Browns D is legit, so can't take anything away from them. I think this was probably the toughest matchup the 49ers have had aside from Dallas, where they just blew them out of the water. But, yeah, Browns D is legit. I think Brock Purdy will be just fine moving forward, though.
Yeah, 100%. Browns D is almost like a dead zone for fantasy right now. It's actually kind of scary. They've allowed 1,002 yards on the entire season.
Jesus Christ.
So that's 200 total yards per game, essentially, in their 5 games. Like 200 yards total, not like passing, not rush, like not just rushing, like combined. That's crazy. That's like no yardage for the entire game for any teams. So yeah, definitely not a favorable matchup. Purdy, system QB all day. Completely agree, my guy. But for fantasy, still too many weapons. Gotta trust him.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins, 10.74 points. Expected him to struggle a bit with Justin Jefferson, unfortunately, on the shelf. 21 of 31, 181 yards. Did throw a touchdown, but fumbled twice, only lost 1. Are we chaos on Kirk?
It's kind of chaos till J-Jeff comes back.
I want to agree with T-Gods. We expected Kirk to have a good day against the Bears, too, because we were talking about how poor their secondary was and how bad they were against the pass. And Kirk did not take advantage of that at all. I mean, I know he's missing J-Jeff, but still it's Hawkinson, Addison, KJ. He just couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, like he did what he had to do to win this game. Like they got up, or like I guess at halftime after a slow start. And then at that point, it was just kind of on cruise control once Justin Fields got hurt and left the game. But yeah, you're obviously not comfortable starting him next week against the Niners. Maybe Green Bay week 8, but it could start to get cold at Lambeau. May also not be a great matchup. And then at Atlanta, who has been beatable. So maybe that's when you're like comfortable going back to Kirk. But yeah, I think it's a little bit chaos until we see Justin Jefferson back. He's more of definitely a matchup spot start.
Yeah.
Geno Smith, 10.92 points, 27-41, 323 yards. Looks good there, but no touchdowns, 2 picks. Did add 20 yards on the ground. Unfortunately, the no touchdowns kills Geno's day. Is it chaos on Geno?
I'd say so. So half of his games, he has 11 fantasy points or less. So that's a little scary.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I want to see the touchdown passes start to come through. Like he's got DK Metcalf, he's got Tyler Lockett. They added JSN. This offense should be moving the ball better.
Bobo.
It's just the red zone.
Bobo.
Yeah, they do have Bobo too.
Bobo looked good.
He had a few catches too. Like they have weapons on this offense, so like they should be able to move the ball. And they have in 3 games. He has pretty much 300 yards in 3 of 5 games. One of them was 296, but close enough.
Count it.
But and then he got hurt in the Giants game. Doesn't really count there either. So he's still been fine. He just hasn't been what he was last year. You want to just see the touchdowns start to come. It's been once they get in close, it's just the Kenneth Walker show thus far. So I want to see them start passing more in the red zone to be more confident in Geno.
Yeah, 323 yards though. That's like
even with one.
That's a lot.
if he gets one touchdown, that's if you play 6 point passing touchdowns, that's 16.9. You're not as disappointed as you are in 10. So, and the 2 picks didn't look good, but that was just trying to win the game as they were kind of forcing it down the field late in the game. But we'll see. I think better days are ahead for Geno. I think that the schedule clears up a little bit. At least next week he gets Arizona. Like if he doesn't do it next week versus the Cardinals, a little bit nervous because then next he goes to Cleveland, which then it's like, all right, then he's got to sit. So
God, kill me now.
So you'll know it's chaos next week or not, because you're definitely not starting him if he struggled against Arizona. Question in the chat: who should I trade Derrick Henry for? He needs a wide receiver, half PPR.
Oh boy.
That's a tough question. Straight up, just D-Hen for a receiver? Like, what's D-Hen's value there? I feel like running back still has a little bit more value.
Maybe like, is Amon too much?
Yeah.
Probably after this.
Probably not going to get Amon-Ra. Maybe Waddle you could get. But then I feel like I would want like a bench running back with that too for Derrick Henry.
Yep.
That's tough.
Like Smitty and a bench running back also, but Smitty's also struggled a lot.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't.
I
wouldn't do that.
Smitty's making me a little bit nervous. I mean, 11 targets. We'll definitely talk about him. Actually, I don't even know if I put him on the document, but definitely a little bit nervous there. He's got Eckler, Pacheco, and Henry. Needs some depth at wide receiver. So, yeah, you can flip Henry.
I'm trying to look at some names. I don't really know. Like,
it's not an easy.
Waddle's probably like the
best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him or like, I don't even want to say like Olave or Garrett Wilson.
No, because like Olave's not even.
Olave was solid this week, but he's has struggled.
Decent.
If you could get Adam Thielen right now, I think that would be fair because people might be trying to sell high. And if you believe in him for the rest of the season, you could do that. But I'm still a little bit nervous about Thielen's
but he's been out of his mind.
I know, like it's hard to deny at this point.
Pittman?
Names. But
AR might not be juicy enough. If I'm getting Pittman, I want a bench running back too. Yeah, it's not an easy spot to trade Derrick Henry because his value's kind of up and down too. He did have a solid week though. Definitely not a bad spot to try to sell high. Yeah, I would just throw some feelers out there and try to.
That is my sell high.
Yeah, throw some feelers out there for like Amon-Ra. Maybe someone that's still worried about Jamar Chase.
I don't think I would do it for Calvin Ridley.
Keenan Allen, maybe if you could do it.
I'll do it.
Even you could buy low on Devontae Adams if that dude's healthy. Like, so whoever has him might, if they're in a losing record in your league, if you could buy low there and flip that, it's not that bad. But yeah, you did say do I just ride my 3 running backs, hope my receivers survive? I think you could also just ride out with Eckler, Pacheco, and then Henry at flex or Pacheco at flex, depending on whatever it looks like. Good luck, my guy. Moving on to running back for Calmer Chaos. Zach Charbonnet, 3.9 points, 2 carries, 5 yards, caught 2 of his targets for 14 yards. He was kind of drafted as a potential timeshare running back, but he has no more than 5.5 points through 5 games. So,
no, he's shocked.
That is shocked. Ken Walker's backfield, and Charbonnet is not looking like a threat to take carries away from him at all. No, more of just like a change of pace back, but Ken Walker is going to get all the goal line work, all the first down work. He's going to be basically the workhorse. And Charb is nothing more than a handcuff at this point.
Yeah, I think he's a high-end handcuff right now. I think if you can flip him to a Kenneth Walker owner for something that maybe is valuable for your lineup, then I would do it. If you already have him as your handcuff with Ken, definitely a good piece to have.
Yep.
But that's it right now. Rashad White, 6.8 points, did play 79% of the snaps, continues to dominate the touches in this backfield, but 7 carries for 26 yards and catching 3 of 4 targets for 12 yards is not pretty. Calmer chaos for Rashad White.
It's kind of chaos. He only has over 50 rushing yards in 2 games.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
Only 2 games of double-digit fantasy points, which is
yeah, he's kind of poopy.
I'm saying chaos.
I'm saying chaos.
Yeah, the Bucs O-line is absolute Swiss cheese. So, and I feel like they are good. Like somehow they are 3-2, so like they are a competitive team. Maybe he can get a little bit more yardage against the Falcons, but I don't know. I'm not in love with Rashad White right now. Definitely leaning towards chaos, more of just an RB3 flex kind of spot. rather than the RB2 potential we thought he could have.
Yep.
James Cook, 7.1 points, 14 carries for 71 yards, and not involved in the passing game at all. Definitely good to see the rushing yards tick back up, but is it calm or chaos here for Cook after 2 bad games in a row, fantasy-wise?
Matt, it's your boy. I'll let you handle your biz.
I think I'm staying calm. I mean, it has been 2 stinkers in a row, but he's getting the workload. Last week, obviously, was a weird week for him. He wasn't really involved in the game plan, but you love to see the 71 rush yards. Just hoping as the season progresses, he stays part of that passing game. I'm not going to jump ship on James Cook just yet.
How do you rush 5 times for -4 yards?
All right,
bro?
listen.
Yeah,
I
that
was
game
looking
was
at
so
that
annoying.
too, but that was bad.
That was the one time I bet him to get 50 rushing yards, and he went for -4. So. Yikes. Bad job. But yeah, I think you got to continue to rely on James Cook. I think better days are ahead there. Volume's still there. Maybe not better days for Javonte Williams, 7.2 points, 35% of the snaps, 10 carries for 52 yards. That's it. I think he also had a 2-point conversion, I believe, or something like that.
Did.
So that
I
salvaged
swore it
him.
was a touchdown because I missed a touchdown and I was like for nothing.
Calm or chaos on Javonte.
Chaos.
I've been saying this, everybody.
33
God, no one wants to believe
30%
me.
of the snaps due to. I mean, you love to see the 5.2 yards a carry, but if he's not getting the volume like the workhorse, that's not going to do him any justice in fantasy. So I'm saying chaos. Unfortunately, I love him, but not
Yeah.
I love him.
I've been on the Javonte train. I've had him in Dynasty for a couple of years, so I've been all the way in on this guy. But I definitely am leaning towards chaos. I don't think he's going to get more than like 50 to 55% of the snaps. He hasn't even touched 50% of the snaps in a game yet this season. So he has been a little bit banged up recently, but still, even starting the season, he wasn't getting that full workload. And he had a solid floor with like the receiving work, but it seems like some of that's kind of going away too. And I think he's more of a back that's going to thrive on a team where they're winning, and he's able to they're going to give him 15 to 20 carries in a game where they're winning, but I don't think the Broncos are going to be winning many games this year. So,
are you still in on him?
No, I'm leaning towards chaos. I mean, I think
I just mean like in general, like
I still have to like have faith in my guy. I think better days are ahead, but I just don't think it's going to be anytime soon right now. The Broncos are kind of just a dumpster fire franchise, so not an ideal start, at best kind of a flex play at this point.
If that.
Yeah, if that. Moving on to wide receiver. Had some wide receiver stinkers this week from some big names, starting with DeAndre Hopkins, 3 points, 1 catch on 5 targets in London for 20 yards. After his bounce back performance, are we chaotic here on D-Hop?
Yep. I hate this Titans offense as a whole. I don't like Ryan Tannehill at all. And as we've seen in the past, Tennessee is the graveyard for wide receivers outside of their prime. So I'm out on D-Hop. Love him to death, though.
Yeah. I think I'm leaning towards chaos on D-Hop, too. I mean, I love D-Hop, and I hope that they go into this bye week and kind of figure it out and want to get him more involved in the offense as a consistent piece. But no touchdowns through 6 weeks definitely hurts. And then the up and down nature of his volume in this offense and the up and down nature of Tannehill as a passer in general makes me nervous. So I think he's still a flex option, but definitely leaning towards the chaos side of things.
Yeah.
You think Tanny's the worst starter?
He's up there.
He's got to be up there. Maybe not the worst starter, but he's close. Ritter's pretty bad. Ritter might be the worst. Although he'd throw for 300 yards back-to-back weeks. Kenny Pickett's pretty bad, too.
Pickett is bad. Mac Jones
might be the worst.
He
might be the worst.
Jimmy G's pretty bad, too. I hate Jimmy G. He's so mid.
And fucking Derek Carr sucks, too.
Oh, my God. Don't get me started on Derek Carr right now.
There's so many bad quarterbacks.
Yeah. But he's up there. He's in the mix.
Zach Wilson. How are we forgetting Zach Wilson?
Because he just beat us.
And I don't want to talk about that right now.
Oh, my God. Why'd you bring that up, man?
You brought
his name up.
I didn't say anything about the Eagles.
Yeah, you brought up Zach Wilson, and I immediately got sad. All right, moving on. Gabe Davis, 3.1 points, 3 catches, 4 targets for 21 yards, and a fumble lost.
What'd you expect? Welcome to the Gabe Davis show.
Yeah.
It's been chaos.
It's not chaos. It's not calm. It's just he's a boomer bust flex option. And here came the bust that was expected after 4 straight touchdowns. So
you know what it is.
He's going to be a roller coaster. Continue to ride it if you want. I am not going anywhere near that roller coaster. T. Higgins, 4 points, 54% of the snaps, 2 catches on 4 targets for 20 yards. What is up with T here?
I'd rather start D-Hop.
It's chaos.
I think I'd rather start D-Hop
I'd rather
too.
start D-Hop.
100%.
It's a shame because I have both of them. I have both of them in the one league. I'm so bad.
All right.
Better
My
than
hope
5.
has to be that T. Higgins goes into this bye week, gets fully healthy, and then comes back when the Bengals kind of start their run towards trying to make the playoffs. They got to win against Seattle, even though they tried to give it away multiple times. Hopefully he gets more involved in the offense. Obviously, got hurt, played 50% of snaps in week 4. Didn't seem fully ready to go, 54% of snaps this week. So hopefully he's ready to go in week 8. But it's chaos right now until we see T. Higgins bounce back.
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy, though, the Jeudy train might be over. 4.4 points, 65% of the snaps, 3 catches, 5 targets for only 14 yards.
Chaos. I wish Q was here.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's Jerry Jeudy.
He hates Jerry Jeudy and loves Sutton. I was on that train for a while, and then Jeudy kind of made me a believer last year, and now he's just proving past me right from like
And
2021.
Steve Smith, right?
Yeah, Steve Smith went in on him and then put up 14 yards.
Bro.
Come on. That's bad.
Trash.
Yeah, Jeudy, chaos. I don't even know if he's
Chaos.
startable at this point, to be honest.
No, 100% not startable.
He's
If you're
peaked at
starting Jerry
13
Jeudy, I'm
points.
sorry.
I kind of am in a 3 wide receiver league. It's not great.
Sorry, Sean.
Yeah, we'll see if he can bounce back, but it's chaos right now. At best, a low-end flex right now.
Bro, take this next man off the damn list.
Davante Adams,
Yes.
4.9
Bro, come
points,
on.
2 catches, 5 targets, 29 yards. Gotta stay calm on ad. Just
That's
gotta
it.
remind the people, T-God. Sometimes you gotta give a reminder.
Sorry.
Let him know to stay calm. He is a little banged up. Need to see him fully
Hopefully Jimmy
healthy.
G banged up helps Addy because Jimmy G fucking sucks.
Yeah, he does.
I'd rather see their backup that looks like the wolf from TikTok.
I think they put in Brian Hoyer last.
They did,
Yeah.
I think so.
Hoyer used to feed bulls, so maybe he'll get Addy involved. We'll see. But yeah, his bye's not till week 13, so he's not going to get a week off. So we kind of just need Addy to heal up as they continue through these weeks. But I think he'll be fine. Better days ahead. Calvin Ridley, 6.6 points. This man will be on Trust or Bust or Calm or Chaos every week moving forward at this point. 4 catches, 8 targets for 30 yards. Did have a carry for -4 yards for some reason. Is it Calm or Chaos on Ridley?
I don't fucking know.
It's
Trevor
chaos,
Lawrence
bro.
loves Christian Kirk. It pisses me off.
There's no reason Calvin Ridley should be this bad.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I mean, 8 targets is still a good sign. He has 7 targets in 5 of 6 games. So he's still
He's not doing anything with them.
targeted.
Start catching them,
Doesn't
asshole.
look- Trevor Lawrence is missing him on half of these passes too. So
But he
it's
hits
up and
Christian
down.
Kirk.
He does hit Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk right in the hands every time.
I don't get it.
I think Ridley, I'm still leaning towards Calm. He's still wide receiver 25 on the season. He's had some all right games, but it's a little bit up and down here too. A little bit nervous. Hopefully he can figure it out. Puka Nakua came back down to earth, 6.6 points, 4 catches on 7 targets for 26 yards. Is it Calm or Chaos on Puka?
We're staying calm. I mean, we all knew when Cooper Kupp was back, it was going to be his offense, basically. But Kyron Williams is banged up, so I think the Rams are going to have to rely a lot more on the pass. So I think Puka will be just fine.
Kyron is the only reason that I'm not super chaos right now. But I do think in a couple weeks it will be chaos because I think this will be more normal than his 30-point games.
And I'm pretty sure he dropped a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping he can slot. Yeah, I think he did drop a touchdown, which obviously hurts. I'm hoping he can kind of slot into like a 10 to 15 points per game kind of guy, like a consistent wide receiver 2, where we saw like Cooper Kupp's still going to be the dominant guy here. Obviously didn't expect him to get 20 every single week with Kupp back. Now Kupp's fully back, so obviously he's going to lose a little bit of the volume he was getting. But I still think I'm staying calm for now on Puka.
Wait, can we talk about Can we talk about Smitty?
Yeah, we can talk about Smitty. I did not have him on the list because I think he did break 10 points.
9.4.
He's close enough. I usually stay below like 7 if it's like chaos. But yeah,
I think this is chaos, though, is it not?
it is. I think it is. It's if he doesn't drop a couple passes, he has 12 to 13, maybe 15 points, and then we're like not as worried about it. Like some of those passes hit him dead in the hands for like 20 yards over the middle.
Bad drops.
It's chaos because he did drop them, though.
I know. Don't get me wrong. He's got 5 targets in every game. He's got a few games with big target numbers, but it seems like AJ Brown's clearly the alpha one at this point. Like when we need when the Eagles need a guy to get a first down, it's AJ Brown. And then Goddard's still going to be in there mixed in. It's a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit nervous if I'm owning Smitty right now. I was confident this was going to be the big bounce back, and it almost was. But
so did I. I put a little bet in 100+ yards, touchdown.
Sheesh, all the way up.
I hit that John in the 1 week.
I just needed him 50 yards, man. He got 44. Can't give me 50, Smitty? 50 versus the Jets, Smitty?
Bro, they had like none of their corners. God.
Yeah.
It's a bad week.
Yeah, it's leaning towards chaos. I want to see Miami. I think it's going to be more of a shootout. Hopefully we can kind of see the Smitty open up, AJ Brown continue to munch, Goddard get a little bit involved as well, and kind of see this offense bounce back. But definitely leaning towards chaos right now. It hasn't been pretty the last 4 weeks. Got to see Smitty get back to that wide receiver 2 form. Tight end. George Kittle again on calm or chaos. 1.1 points, 1 catch on 2 targets for 1 yard. D-Gods?
I mean, this is the guy I drafted.
He's still tight end 8 on the season.
I didn't expect it to be this bad, though. Like, this is a second game with 1 catch.
And Debo went out in this game.
It kind of is chaos, honestly. Like, I know like you're supposed to expect like the poopers and then like the boom games, but like these poopers are like poopers. Like, I might as well not even started them. Like, seriously, like it's so I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just like I like don't want to start him, but like you have to start him because he can drop like 30. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. With tight end, I think it's still calm. Like, as bad as it's ugly as it is getting, like, he can still win you your week probably 5 times this season. And are you going to take 5 20-plus point games from Kittle, or are you going to take 7 points a week from some guy on waivers, or like some like 11th, 12th, like Jonnu Smith? Are you starting Jonnu Smith confidently, or Logan Thomas, who we just saw also struggle, who we'll talk about in a second? It's like tight ends is just a scarce place, and Kittle has the upside more than most tight ends outside of like Kelsey, Andrews, Hawkinson. So I think you have to keep rolling him out there as a decent option, but it's obviously the Browns also hurts. Like, Purdy threw for 125 yards in this game. So I think a bounce back. I'm hoping that it's not going to be 1 point for these down games most often.
Yeah.
I think better days are ahead.
Right, like you can't even trade him either.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking wants him.
Yeah, he's bugs. You just kind of got to ride it out. Unless you can find someone to flip with. Question for you, Kittle or Goddard rest of season? Because Goddard's been pretty mid. He's the guy that's like the 7.
So mid.
He's the 7 points. That's who you're starting outside of that. And that one boom is the only thing that's going to happen. And that's very rare for Goddard in his career.
I know. You're looking at you are looking at like 8 points a week. And it's just like
the boom's not going to be as often as it is with Kittle.
And if they're on the goal line, you know who's scoring.
Yep.
This is not Goddard. I don't know. I guess I would rather just have Kittle. I guess.
Yeah. It's not great, but that's kind of where you're at there. Donovan Calmer, chaos. Jahan Dotson.
Okay.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Got to be chaos. He had 1 target, no catches this week on 80% of the snaps. He's just kind of being phased out of the offense, and Curtis Samuel seems to be eating up those targets and that volume, and he's been looking pretty explosive. So for redraft, it's chaos for sure on Jahan Dotson right now. I think he's almost droppable at this point. And then
Definitely droppable.
Yeah, and then Dynasty, I think you can still hold out hope that he'll kind of figure it out. But yeah, it's not looking great right now. Continuing with tight end Calmer Chaos here, Logan Thomas, 1.2 points, slightly better day than Kittle, 1 catch on 1 target for 2 yards. After he looked pretty solid and consistent, throws up a complete dud. What do we think for Logan Thomas?
It's his target share. There's only 2 games where he's had like a significant target share, and those were 2 of his better games, I guess. But with the receivers they have there, I mean, even Jahan wasn't involved, and Logan still only saw 1 target. Definitely not a great sign.
Yeah, leaning towards chaos, leaning towards like he's in the bundle of like tight ends from 10 to 15.
Yep.
Don't
I think
think
he has more upside than the average tight end, though.
Yeah, like we just saw obviously in week 5 that was a big game, but I feel like the Commanders game script is kind of wild every single week. You have no idea what they're going to do, so it's going to be up and down roller coaster with him as well.
Yep.
Cole Kmet, 2.9 points, 2 catches, 3 targets for 9 yards. Stinker for the Bears kind of all around. Obviously, Justin Fields getting hurt. Throws his offense into a whirlwind with Tyson Bagent at quarterback. Just calmer chaos for Kmet.
Depending on how long Fields is out for,
Yep.
I'd say chaos.
Yep.
I would agree. I'm thinking maybe Bagent could use him as like a safety valve, but I don't trust Bagent to really get more than 150 passing yards in any game moving forward. So
I literally didn't know that man existed until yesterday.
yeah,
Me either.
they had a drawing ready for him when he scored the touchdown. So on the broadcast or whatever, like they have the little cartoons. I'm like, how did they have a drawing ready for Tyson Bagent? How did they have that ready? But yeah, Cole Kmet, if Justin Fields is going to miss significant time, it's a little bit chaotic, but I think hold on to him for now. All right, before we get positive, today's sponsor is Fanatics. For this NFL season, we have partnered with Fanatics, the leading brand for NFL merchandise. Almost at the halfway point through the season, please go out there, get yourself a new jersey to rep your favorite squad. Go to the link in our bio on all platforms. Take advantage of their sale going on right now. Use code CAMP to get up to 65% off site-wide. Go out there, get yourself something nice. And again, please use the link in our bio to get to Fanatics website. Helps us out a ton, and we greatly appreciate your support. All right, trust or bust. Starting at the quarterback position, Matt's boy Jared Goff shows up again, 26.42 points, 30 of 44 passing, 353 yards, and 2 tutties. Are we fully trusting Jared Goff as a QB1?
Yes, sir.
You mean the quarterback 5?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm big trusting.
That Lions team is legit. That offense is scary. I know Montgomery went down and Gibbs was hurt, but Jared Goff
Either way, they're a
found a way to
offense,
get it done.
bro. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, for real.
They like to run the ball when they get up. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
I'm just saying, I love Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm. You have to trust him at this point. I was going to say, I think Montgomery going out definitely did help inflate his passing numbers because I don't think they were going to give Craig Reynolds 15 to 20 touches in this game, no matter what happened. And Monty was only in there for 26% of the snaps before getting hurt. So I think that helped get his passing numbers up a bit. But in general, Jared Goff looks good. This team looks good. He's got a ton of weapons to throw to now with Jameson Williams healthy. Trust Jared Goff, a QB1 moving forward.
Oh, yeah.
What about this guy, Sam Howell, 24.34 points, only completed 14 passes, kind of sus for 23, but did have 151 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he now has 20-plus fantasy points in 4 out of 6 games.
Trust. He's been solid all year aside from his big dud against the Bills, which is understandable.
He didn't even have a point in that game, and he's still the quarterback 11.
For real.
Yeah. So that's basically like a bye week right now. He's still top 12 QB. That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you got to trust Sam Howell right now. Definitely as a spot start QB. Continue to start him in favorable matchups. Tough matchups, maybe fade him, but he should be fine as long as he's not playing like a super solid defensive line that's going to pressure him a ton. He looks pretty good. And even he did play the Eagles, still put up 21. So trust Sam Howell right now. Running backs. Raheem Mostert, 34.2 points. We saw Achane unfortunately go down with injury. Mostert gets 61% of the snaps, 17 carries, 115 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and then caught 3 of his targets for 17 yards and another touchdown. I think you have to keep trusting Raheem Mostert as long as Achane is out.
Right.
Where he's got 11 touchdowns through 6 games.
Yeah,
That's
immense.
actually disgusting.
Dude, are you kidding me?
That's actually so gross.
He's going bananas.
11 touchdowns is like he's on like LaDainian Tomlinson pace, like
Right.
more than that. And he hasn't even been the guy every game. Like week 4, we saw him completely disappear and not score a touchdown. And he still has 11 touchdowns in 6 games.
My God, and we're playing them next week.
Yeah, I think you have to trust Mostert. And as long as he is healthy, he is a absolute must start RB1 right now. It's just Dolphins offense is too explosive.
Yep.
Breece Hall, 20.3 points, 12 carries for 39 yards, late game touchdown. Let's not talk about that one. 5 catches, 5 targets for 54 yards as well. Are we fully back in on the Breece train?
Breece is back, baby.
I'm not.
All the way back in. You're crazy.
I'm not in on anyone on this offense, bro.
It's looked better, though. Since the Chiefs game, it's looked better. It's looked better.
It looked better, but I'm not.
They're winning games.
I'm not sold yet.
Yeah, they're going into the bye week. Breece has another chance to continue to get healthier. The snaps continue to go up, 66% of the snaps. Dalvin Cook seems to be an afterthought at this point. So I'm in on Breece Hall. I'm trusting him moving forward as a solid RB2. He's RB15 on the season with a handful of stinkers to start the season. So I am trusting Breece moving forward.
Yes, sir.
Derrick Henry, 19.3 points. The man that won't quit. 12 carries for 97 yards and a touchdown. Caught both of his targets as well for 16 yards. Are we trusting D-Hen?
I'm not trusting him.
I'm trusting him as an RB2.
Yeah.
He's not an RB1. He's not D-Hen.
He just doesn't, like, 3 of his last 4 games, he had 11 rushing attempts, 13 rushing attempts, 12 rushing attempts. Like,
it's scary. But then he's D-Hen, and he can break one for 63 yards and a touchdown, just like he did against the Ravens.
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy. One thing I do like to see is that he's semi-involved in the passing game a little bit. He's getting 2 to 3 targets a game. He's getting a couple of catches to give him a little bit of a safer floor, so you're not getting those complete bust games out of him. We only saw that against Cleveland, who we now know is clearly the best defense in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
So leaning towards continuing to trust Henry as an RB2, but definitely not all in on him as the top 6, top 7 running back that you expect for the last half a decade.
Yeah.
Ramondre, is he back? 18 points, 65% of the snaps, 10 carries for 46 yards, and caught 5 of 6 targets for 24 yards.
I am not fully back in on Ramondre yet. It's nice to see him finally get involved in the passing game like he was in week 1, but I just can't trust him moving forward just based off this performance against the Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree as well. I think the Raiders was a very favorable matchup and a good bounce back spot. And I don't remember if I said it on the preview episode, but like if he doesn't get it done this week, then it's like beyond chaos. He was able to get it done. So I think that helps. But like, are you really confident in starting him at home against the Bills next week? No, not in the slightest.
And then Miami.
Miami might be able to get some garbage time stuff done. We saw even Chuba Hubbard was able to move the ball against them, who we'll talk about in a second. But still leaning towards chaos here on Ramondre, unfortunately. I want to see what he does against the Bills. I want to see if he continues to stay involved in the passing game or not. Zach Moss, the man who won't stop stealing Jonathan Taylor's workload, 17.9 points, 50% of the snaps, and even 50-50 split, as we discussed on the preview. Episode 7 carries, 21 yards, found the end zone, also caught 6 of 7 targets for 38 yards. Are we still trusting Zach Moss in this backfield?
All right. This is the last week.
No, it's
that
not.
Zach Moss produces.
Is it, though?
I don't think it is, bro. He finds a way. Every week, he just finds a way to get points.
The one thing I love to see is that if the Colts are going to continue to go down with Minshew, he is going to be dump off king. So I think
Yes.
Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor could have solid floors as receiving backs because combined they had 11 catches on 13 targets. So he
Hell
was
yeah.
feeding the running backs in the passing game. But I think you have to stay calm right now. I mean, I think you have to trust Zach Moss as a low end RB2 flex until we see JT fully take over.
Yep.
It's hard to bench a guy that's put up 53 points in the last 2 weeks.
RB5.
Yeah, Zach freaking Moss. Kareem, the Dream Hunt, 16.1 points, 37% of snaps, 12 carries for 47 yards, found the end zone, also caught 3 targets for 24 yards. Is Kareem back?
Nope.
I really don't think he is, bro.
37% of the snaps. And he ain't
Looked
gonna
good,
be
though.
Gator was
He looked
annoying
good,
me
though.
so
15
bad.
touches.
Anytime Kareem touched the ball, Kareem. Like, Gator, shut up.
He didn't even start him, so I don't know why he was so hype.
Ugh.
It's not like he was getting any points. It was just his bench getting points.
That's a good ass sell high right now. I'm selling high on Kareem.
Yeah, I want us to continue to see it. Obviously, I'm not fully trusting, but good to see that he's now pushing towards 40% of the snaps. I think Jerome Ford's still going to continue to get these opportunities first, but Kareem's a reliable second running back that we've seen in the past with 40% of snaps on the Browns who's able to get fantasy points. So,
yeah,
not trusting all the way in yet, but a good sign to see. Keep an eye on him. Chuba Hubbard, 16 points, 77% of the snaps with Miles Sanders on the pine. 19 carries for 88 yards and a tutty. Also caught his lone target for 2 yards. Are we trusting Chuba?
nah.
Can't trust anyone on this offense not named Adam Thielen.
Yep. And they're going to know a bye, so Sanders will probably be back after the bye, and then it's not just the Chuba show anymore. They also paid Miles Sanders a lot of money to be their RB1, so I don't think they're going to fully go away from him, even though he's struggled a bit.
Yep.
So not trusting Chuba. Moving on to wide receiver, Drake London, 21.5 points, 9 catches on 12 targets for 125 yards. Now, 4 of the last 5 games, he has 11.8 points or more. And 4 of the last 5 games, he has either 50-plus yards or a touchdown. Are we trusting Drake London?
I think
Yeah.
so. He's getting fed targets, which you love to see. And, I mean, he's making it happen with the opportunity he's getting. So,
Yeah. Everyone wrote him off after week 1. They wrote him off.
Right back.
He did not write back. Gotta trust Drake London for now. Keep rolling him out there. I think he's honestly a low-end wide receiver too right now. Just the consistency in his game thus far. But Ritter still makes me nervous. So.
Oh my God, he sucks so bad. He's so bad.
Dude, he's so bad. How the hell did he throw for 300 yards in each of the last 2 weeks?
I don't know.
I don't think it's going to
the Commanders defense, and then
I'm really nervous about the Falcons at the Bucs next week after the Bucs just got embarrassed versus the Lions. I think the Bucs bounce back, and their defense is good. So, yeah, Drake London a little bit nervous, but continue trusting it for now. Kendrick Bourne, 19.3 points, 10 catches, 11 targets for 89 yards. Can we trust Jason Bourne?
Come on, I know we can't trust anyone on that offense.
No.
Nope. If he gets 11 targets, he's trustworthy because he has 2 games with 11 targets and he has 24 and 19 in each of those games. Outside of that, he has not broken 8.6 points. So he's a bench wide receiver that you can plug in on a bye week. That's about it. Yep. Rashid Shaheed, 18.3 points, 76% of the snaps. Only caught 2 of his 6 targets, but had 85 yards and a touchdown. Is he low-key trustworthy?
No. That's a boomer busty guy.
Yes,
yep.
Sir.
Cannot trust Rashid Shaheed. Definitely boomer bust at best. Zay Flowers, 17.1 points, 6 catches on 8 targets for 50 yards and a touchdown. Quietly wide receiver 21 on the season now. Can we trust Zay?
Hell yeah.
I think so, sir. He's only got 1 game, not in double digits. So, I mean, solid, maybe low-end wide receiver 2 or flex option. So, keep rolling him out there.
48 yards plus in every single game. He continues to be the main reliable target for Lamar. Continue to trust Zay Flowers. Jacoby Myers, 17.1 points, 5 catches on 7 targets for 61 yards and a touchdown. He's taking advantage of Adams being banged up and looking like the wide receiver 1 right now. 15-plus points in 4 of 5 games this season. Are we trusting Jacoby?
I'm all the way in on Jacoby.
I started him over Godwin this week.
He was being held back by the Patriots at this point, is what we're seeing. Because he looks good. I can't believe they let him go and sign Juju for the same amount of money. That's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Much rather than Jacoby.
100%. Jacoby's wide receiver 14 and didn't play in week 2. Like, you got to trust Jacoby Myers right now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Juju is absolute dog water. Tyler Boyd, 16.8 points, caught all 7 of his targets only for 38 yards. Nice Jarvis Landry stat line there. And did find the end zone. 7+ targets now in 5 straight games. Is Boyd trustworthy?
No.
I don't think so.
No. T will be back doing his thing.
Yes, please.
I agree.
Please.
Sooner than later.
It's good to see the volume here, but he's not doing anything with the volume. He's only broken 10 fantasy points twice, and 1 was with this touchdown this week. So Tyler Boyd, not trustworthy, but a decent bench wide receiver to continue to hold. Tight ends. Dalton Schultz continues to show that he is looking pretty good. 16.1 points, 4 catches on 7 targets for 61 yards and a tutty. Now 3 straight games with 40+ yards and a touchdown. All the way in on Schultz.
Yes, I am.
I can't think of a reason to disagree. So
He's finally getting involved like we wanted him to be. I mean, obviously, week 3 and 4, he only had 3 targets, which you don't like. But the past 2 weeks, 10 and 7, which is a major upgrade. And I think CJ Stroud is finally realizing like that's going to be his go-to guy because we've seen Nico and Tank be inconsistent. And so far, it looks like the only consistent one through the past 3 weeks has been Dalton.
Yeah,
I hope to see it continue. Tank Dell coming back might take a little bit of volume back away, but he looks good. Dalton Schultz definitely one of the more trustworthy tight ends. 10 and 7 on the season now. Continue to roll him out there. Falcons tight ends. Jonnu Smith, 13.6 points, 4 catches, 5 targets, 36 yards, and a tutty. Kyle Pitts, 14.3 points, 4 catches on 6 targets for 43 yards, and his 4th career touchdown. Can we trust the Falcons tight ends?
Jonnu, yes.
Trust one of them, and that's John.
100%. And the announcer kept saying Janu, and I hated it.
I hate Janu.
I feel like it's pronounced Jonnu, but I don't know the exact pronunciation. Janu just sounds weird. I feel like he was in the league for a while now, and I feel like it's always been Jonnu Smith.
Right.
Janu sounds off. Maybe he corrected them this year. I don't know. We'll do some more research before next episode. But either way,
I'm starting Jonnu in my other league, and I'm completely happy with it.
Smith, trust. I'm not drinking the Kyle Pitts soup yet, or whatever you want to call it.
Nope.
That's muck.
Yeah.
That is muck.
It's a swamp that I don't want to be a part of. But he did get a touchdown. Maybe if he continues to roll them together, we can finally be like, maybe it's time to start trusting him. But I need a handful of weeks before saying, you know what?
See what number
Let me trust him.
It was
4 for his career.
That was his 4th? Okay.
4 in 31 games or something like that. As a 6'5" tight end, top 5 draft pick. 6'4", whatever he is. 6'6". Sorry, even taller.
Dude, and that was like Jonnu's first touchdown since like October 2021 or something like that, they said.
Yeah, he hasn't caught a touchdown in ages. So leaning towards trusting Jonnu, even though he's been a little bit kind of not as big of a name. Not trusting Kyle Pitts. Michael.
He scored,
go ahead.
Sorry. Week 4 of 2021.
That's the last time Jonnu Smith scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe don't expect touchdowns much with Smith, but the volume's been good. 5 targets in 5 straight games, 8 fantasy points in 5 straight games. For a tight end, that's definitely a solid low-end tight end right there.
Yep.
Michael Mayer coming onto the scene, 12.5 points, played 81% of the snaps, which is a significant increase compared to what he was playing early in the season. Caught 5 of 6 targets for 75 yards. Is he someone that you can trust at the tight end position?
Oh,
sure.
No. Dude, he had the first 2 catches of the game, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
He is a rookie. And they finally started to tick up his usage. So like the first 3 weeks, he didn't even get to 50% of the snaps, only had 2 targets. Last week, we saw him get to 66%. He did get 3 targets, caught 2 for 39 yards. And then again, this week, we finally see him get a little bit more involved. 81% of the snaps. Seems like he's running more routes. I think he's worth the speculative waiver ad if you're really struggling at tight end, but not trusting anywhere near my lineup until I see this happen a few more times.
Dude, okay, so he had 2 points in week 3 with 0 receptions and 0 rushes.
He must have had
a conversion. What
Yeah.
the hell, dude?
So weird. But yeah, he gets the Bears next week. I think he's worth an ad off of waivers because he's only owned in 12% of leagues, but I think that's about it. All right, trade targets, and then we'll get out of here. T-God, start us off with your buy low this week.
My buy low is Brock Purdy. The game against the Browns was a complete fluke, I believe. Brock Purdy is quarterback 9 on the season. Maybe someone's a little worried. He's probably someone's backup. So like, I mean, and he's definitely like he puts up starter numbers. So if someone's like, he got exposed, he's kind of buns now. I don't know. I'm very upset. I dropped Brock Purdy. Go trade for. I can't even think anymore. Go trade for Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a good buy low. I'm not selling, so don't come to me.
Don't
come knocking on my door.
No, you know what? I did it with Jay Jeff. I did it with Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy's a little bit different, but he has been solid. I think it's definitely a good buy low window here after that brutal Browns game. Maybe people do think he is exposed. Matt, buy low.
I'm going to go with Aaron Jones. The owner of Aaron Jones has to be frustrated. I mean, he's missed 3 of the first 5 games. Obviously, Green Bay was on a bye this week. So hopefully he was able to rest up, get healthy. We saw what he could do week 1 when he's 100% healthy. So I think if the team is in more of a win now mode, and you're sitting pretty at like 4-1, 3-2 right now, or if he won this week, even 5-1 or 4-2, I think Aaron Jones would be a great addition to that squad. His second half of the season schedule was pretty favorable, so I see Aaron Jones getting healthy and picking up right where he started.
Yeah, Aaron Jones, good buy low. Definitely see better days ahead for him once he's fully healthy. My buy low is someone that's maybe not super low, but maybe you can kind of squeeze in here and lowball an offer for Patrick Mahomes. This season, the last few weeks, he's had the Jets, the Vikings, and the Broncos, and he has less than 20 in 2 of those games and peaked at 23 points. He obviously hasn't been throwing as many touchdowns. Pacheco's obviously been scoring a few here and there. So I think that's what's kind of bringing him down a little bit. But Mahomes, definitely a buy low candidate. He gets the Chargers this week, usually next week, usually a shootout. I think this is your time if you're trying to upgrade a quarterback and want to go for it all, swing for the fences, try to grab Patrick Mahomes. This might be the lowest point of his value for the season. That's it. Sell high. T-Gods, Who are we selling high on?
I am selling high on Derrick Henry. Yes, it's a little weird maybe, but I think we can all agree he's not looked like what we know Derrick Henry to be. He only has 3 touchdowns through 6 games, which is not very good for what he normally does. His rushing attempts, 3 of the last 4 weeks were 11, 13, and 12. So like he's not getting the volume that he usually does. Yes, he's getting a couple of targets, but I don't know. I'm still a little nervous on him. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like another running back. Maybe someone is a big Derrick Henry fan and they're like, do a 1v1 for him. And like, I don't know. I don't know. I
think you can flip him.
I think you can flip him. This is coming from a D-Hen owner.
And he's got that name value too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So everybody wants D-Hen. So
I like it. See what you can get for Derrick Henry. We talked about it a little bit earlier in the episode as well. So definitely an option to move. Matt, sell high. What do we got?
Get rid of Zach Moss. he cannot keep getting away with this. We saw his usage drop down to 50% snap share, basically a 50-50 split with Jonathan Taylor. I see that continuing to decrease. The first few weeks without Jonathan Taylor, he was up in like the 80s for snap share. So I think JT's finally getting back in rhythm, getting fully healthy. And Zach Moss usage will just continue to tick down. I don't care how much of a believer you are in him. Get rid of him.
Yeah. I like that. My sell high. Come on now. Kyle Pitts. This man just scored a touchdown, his 4th of his career. We already just talked about him. His snap share has also slowly been ticking down. First 3 weeks, he was 62, 70, 78. And then the last 3 weeks, it was 64, 53, 55. Jonnu Smith clearly playing a significant role in this offense. I don't think this is going to be the 2011 or 2010 or whatever it was Patriots with Hernandez and Gronk. Pitts and Jonnu are not going to be some dynamic tight end duo. And I'm honestly leaning on the side of trusting Jonnu. So sell high on Pitts, see what you can get. You've got to be someone in your league that's looking at their tight end position like, who the hell am I supposed to start? If you have Pitts and another guy who's also been holding you down, feel free to sell high on Pitts there. Get a decent flex in return.
Yep.
Because it ain't going to be pretty for Pitts moving forward. Unfortunately, no trivia. So that is a wrap for the Week 6 recap. We'll be back Week 7 preview probably on Wednesday this week. Phillies play on Thursday at 5 o'clock. They also play tonight. So go Phils. Again, if you're interested in Fanatics, go to the link in our bio. Take advantage of their current sale going on right now, 65% off. As always, make sure to follow the Super Fantasy Bros on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We are everywhere. Make sure to check out Old City Sports Network. Ton of great podcasts, ton of great sponsors. Definitely help support us, help support our network that we are in. So check those out. We will see you guys Wednesday, to break down Week 7.